There, 28th of April 2024. Yo, what's up? Over there, we got some rain. Further up, that rain turns into slush. Further up, it's minus degrees. It comes down with snow. I started to announce it on Instagram, I think a week and a half ago, that now we are moving into the last phase of those winter storms I announced in October last year. So you can go and check that winter, the winter that was out, if you were interested in the weather that was. But I'm kind of coming to terms that it seems I have a kind of reliable long-term forecast that I can make half a year in advance by direct observation of the Milky Way. Something we did ages ago, but somehow seems to have forgotten. And I am one of the very few people that have spent some time looking into this and try to understand. And I seem also to have grokked a few things that former generations didn't quite see. In earlier times, it was so that they made 3 month predictions, and I believe that what I've seemed to get is half a year, 6 months. But as it is, there has been such too much cloud cover, so the past month and a half I really didn't get to see the Milky Way, but a couple of short moments. It's really hard now because the days are getting longer, and that means, well, the sun is higher up, so we don't really get darkness. If it was around the equator, I believe the Milky Way is just as visible in the summer as in the winter, but up here in north and in the south, that changes with the seasons. So when I went out to peer out at the Milky Way to get some see if I could find some holding points about what kind of weather we got coming up this summer, I couldn't find any Milky Way. So I cannot really make so much predictions. I mind you, I am working on it in the background. We shall see, maybe around the end of May, beginning of June, I might have a little bone to chew on, but I might not. As it is, I believe the best thing I can do is just make some educated guesses, and you take it as you want, because this is off the edge of the map, really, as it comes to I believe weather science. So yeah, that's it. What my educated take on what I believe we can expect this summer, and something you also be well advised to take into the coming years, is that I want to jump all over the place, and I'm holding myself back. But what I believe you need to be first and foremost concerned with is like from the get-go, things are not going to get easier. The political situations are not going to get resolved because there simply doesn't seem to be any willingness to sit down at the table and discuss like grown-ups. So you can think of all the spanners in the wheel that will, but you'll get through it. I hope so. Weather-wise, I think it's going to be a bit like this for the next month and going into June. We'll give up here in Norway. It will be. I believe this kind of breeze will continue to just be around. And this of course causes it to dry out a bit faster, quite a lot faster. So you want to make sure that you have spare water, especially if you have farm animals, and if you have a garden that you want to double down on this anyway, because in the years to come, in that we are coming out of an ice age, what snow we get is going to dissipate quicker, I believe. And there is also this increased risk of forest fires as winds like this dry out the trees and they rub against each other. In the years to come, you are also well advised, especially if you live like we do, most of us, out in the wild in Norway, close around forest, is that you make sure that as good as you can, you make sure there's no forest fire around your houses. That means shrubbery and trees. You can have some, of course, but if you are just close by a forest, make sure you have a good edge into the forest to the houses and whatnot. I guess there's probably some rules and regulations for this, but I'm just mentioning. But I want to talk more about the water. I believe that it's really important that you take, I guess the word is to be prudent and look ahead. Start making one thing I want to do, and I'm looking forward to many years, but there's so much on my plate. But and I really don't have enough land to do it. But maybe I'm not going to talk over myself. Consider building ponds. Right here it's a bit too steep and it's mountain, but there are many places where you can really to build a dam shouldn't take a lot of work, should not cost a lot of money, and you can if you discuss with your neighbors before you know it, you can have a pretty considerable pool just outside your house that you might not have thought about, and that's going to be something that is going to be not just for fun but also for very useful stuff, either for pumping extra water into the land or for actually supplying big lakes like this with a couple of spare buckets of water, if you get what I'm telling. For instance, now in Norwegian we call it vårløsninger, the snow melt, and I believe you can see I cannot zoom on this, but you likely can see a white line around the entire coast there, around the lake. That is the water further south. There's a dam and it has lowered the water, let it run out into the sea, because there's coming more snow melt from the mountains further north. So if they don't let out the water, it starts flooding. Makes sense? Well, there's really a lot of water we can catch, and there's really a lot of useful stuff we can do with that water, and but it entails just getting used to the thought about harvesting the water in the first place, and also living rivers are there and very important for animals, for plants, and for man. It has been so throughout the ages. To dam them up as we do everywhere, sometimes it's a bit too much, I would say, but I am of the opinion the higher up you get in altitude, the more water you can keep at the highest altitudes, the more you have got to go on as the summer progresses, and the more likely you are to prevent any long-term droughts, or you can do what you can do to relieve what may come. So just be very just think about this, because windy and maybe a little bit cool, than like now May and June. Maybe not really cool, but not really warm, I should say, at least up here. I don't know how it is up in Europe or in the States, but I suppose there are ways to align this, especially if we get some weather, but I cannot talk about any weather because I don't think there's going to be much weather. Though I love the sunshine and the warmth of it as much as anyone, I think we're going to get a bit more than we want this summer, and I believe that the fire hazards will be very high throughout summer, and maybe more in later summer, because if I just go on my hunch and my gut feeling, I think that an educated guess from obviously I've been doing this for a couple of years, so I have some thoughts. I believe that later in the summer we will have rain. I'm not saying we're not gonna have rain, but I believe with the breeze and the sun there will be a net shortage of incoming rain. We'll have to make do first and foremost with what is on the ground, either in the form of snow, ice, or snow melt, and to get it out on the fields, so the fields doesn't dry out. That's also, I mean, it's going to be this. You people need to figure out how to solve this yourself in your situation, as I do. I'm always working on a lot of projects in the background, and many I really cannot talk about, but many of them are also concerned with how to do many of these things, not using so much energy and rather working with nature than against it, in an environmentally safe manner. And as I say, we're coming out of an ice age. This is a natural thing that is happening. I've said that in videos before. You cannot tax yourself to good weather, and the CO2 impact on the weather system is just irrelevant. we are coming out of an ice age, and if you have like you can imagine yourself if you have a cube of ice on a table and you let it sit there, it's gonna take a long time for it to melt. But at the final, when it's just nearly done, it's just a bloop, and it's all gone. So I think for instance here in Norway with our ice shelves in the Alps and in the Himalayas, well, maybe not so much in the Himalayas, that the ice shield there is still very gigantic, but it's also melting. A new ice is building on top of it. The same is in Greenland. I think we've gotten to a stage in Earth's development where that moment of coming out of an ice age, at least here in where there are more people living. When those ice shelves are gone, they're not going to come back unless we get another, like a Noah's flood or something. That, I'm not looking for a new ice age. What I'm looking for is how do we proceed to live after an ice age, actually. What do we need to think about that? It's going to be a bit different. I'm not going to be clingy that we must make the ice age last another century and pay taxes. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a bit facetious there, but I get that is the gist of the story we are being sold on from the World Economic Federation or Foundation or what it's called, the Klaus Schwab gang. That I really don't have any respect for. I'm not sure if YouTube accept this kind of frank talk, but that's my honest opinion. The New World Order has only caused disorder. And they continue to get funding to do so. So that is just what it is. Normal people like you and me just have to find a way to roll with the punches and kind of living our lives. I don't know, if we can just ignore them to death, that would be great. But these are like the more you the more you don't want them in your life, the more they they find some way into the cell phone and whatever. But I'm not okay. I don't want to talk so much about this. There are a few better avenues you can go and visit to get that kind of talk. And before I say that, let me mention one more thing about this summer that is already in our well, it's not in our face, but it's in on your likely if you have a a flea bag or two that you feed cat or dogs, or I think sheep and horses are a bit exempt on this, but you need to take care of the horses. These small this thing that gets us on your skin and grow big, that you can get borrelia from. They are already out in full force. They are really aggressive, and you just need to run multiple checks on your pets daily. They are really tiny. Just get them out. You see them when your pet starts scratching, and believe you me, the pets will just love you more that you take care of them and remove what they are not able to take out themselves. So you definitely that is do that definitely. Knott, we call them knott in Norwegian. Okay, 3 websites you can go to, and you should bookmark, and whenever you feel that you need something else, something with a bit not towing any party lines, and more open for real perspectives, or at least different perspective. For me, much of it is real. I would say in the main, always go to James McCanney's site, and also do check out his water filter range and whatever. There's a lot of useful product on that page. Also a lot of educational product that you should look into, and maybe it's something I like to think of. I've done over the years. I didn't spend so much money. I didn't make so much money either. But I took myself a whole different education that you don't get in school, and that you cannot get papers on. And it's kind of I'm not looking for any certifications. I just know that I know what I know, and I'm ready, able, and willing to discuss different facets of this on an open stage if needed. Though I don't think that's not that's not coming up anytime soon, because this is very against mainstream science, or what you call it these days. And to put it this way, if alternative views are presented on such stages, it's because it's something that can be easily dismissed or dismantled, and they put things on people on stage that really don't know what they are doing, and the public get bamboozled. For lack of knowledge, my people perish, saith Jesus. So I'm with him on that, most definitely. People need to get wise. So with that, 3 sites. First, James McCanney, jmccsci.com. He uploads a new show usually each week. It's got a big archive. Go back, dig in, enjoy. Those are you get a lot of repetition in those shows, but you also get shows where you just find that information just once. And if you're not like I have many times, but it's good to keep notes when you learn important stuff, and you get a lot of important knowledge from James' site. Another firebrand I'd like to take out that I really don't talk so much about, but maybe I should, is controversial. Seth Daniel on the Seth Report, sethreport.com, or you can just type in his name, Seth E-P-H Daniel, like in the Bible, but Seth, like in Zephaniah. That's there you go. And Manic Street Preacher just doesn't cover it. It is deeply is Christian, is talking about spiritual warfare, gang stalking, gaslighting, mind control, release from mind control, traumas, and all sorts of stuff. This guy, he has sometimes it's really it can be painful listening, because it's such a catharsis. At times can be cathartic, and but what if you are like me, with not so many friends, and a whole lot of mood swings and things going on, you have your inner life and you don't know so much about the outer life. because it's so hard to find relatable voices. I would say any day you're feeling out of place, go to Seth Daniel, and I think you will be. I don't think you will be. You won't be bored. I don't think you will be disappointed. I'm not gonna say it's a barrel of laughs, because it ain't. But sometimes it is hysterically funny, because it's supposed to be not all doom and gloom in this. And definitely, if you don't have a sense of humor in these times, why, you're out in deep water already. The final page I'd like to recommend that you just check out, and also have, on quick dial, because it's like 24-hour radio, live radio, more or less. Not live all through the night, but on the daytime shows into the evening, it's live, and you can call in, and that's republicbroadcasting.org. republicbroadcasting.org. ORG. That's the most independent free speech radio platform I know, with really competent guests. You could easily attach me to the Alex Jones crowd for the information, but actually Alex Jones is just a pimple on all of this in comparison. That's all I got to say. It's not irrelevant. Alex Jones has done a whole lot more to break big stories into the public, and really have had to face a lot of scrutiny for that, and I think actually sometimes for good reason. But I won't go into that here. First and foremost, I've been glad that there is somebody out there that's sort of, you cannot say mainstream, it's not mainstream, and it's definitely like more like a character figure of sorts, with that burly voice. You never know what the disinfo crews and universities and academies cook up, or who gets training there, but there's a lot of people that are, have an education in disinformation, in misinformation, in leading you astray. And for somebody who's used to be able to, be a bit cautious about what information I take in, I can also say that it's going to be a lot of it in May, a lot of woo-woo, a lot of is it up, is it down, is it true, is it false? And that is why I think that, like, with these 3 pages, you could also go. I just mentioned these. That's enough. 3 pages are well enough. And whatever you take, who you find your information reliable from, that's. It's good also when something, a programmed event happens, that we get a lot of. It seems. When you have your, what people you forholder deg til, that you can relate to. What is their take on the situation? It might chime home to you a lot more than usually the lines we are being fed in the mainstream media, which is where's the cuckoos? Oh, they got a press card and a journalist. No, great. I think that was, the meat of what I wanted to relate to you. It's almost half an hour already. You get summer weather. Personally, I'm getting last video I was excited about digging into my records. I don't have deeper. My styluses are all worn, and I definitely need to get new styluses. I need some real recording equipment and find out how I can record the mixes and that they sound good out. That's but I'm enjoying myself, and God, I got so many sets. I'm just looking forward that okay, the wheel is spinning, it's just not hit the ground yet. That's the feeling I have. A bit giddy, a bit impatient, a bit up and down, but all in all, on the up and up. Gosh, so I think that's all for now. I think yeah. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you can, on like and stuff. I post infrequently, and if you are one of the guys girls who like to follow my work, hit the notification button, because also a lot of the things I talk about is things that YouTube doesn't exactly want people to get into. So if I upload and you don't get the note, it's because you didn't hit on the notifications bells from me when I upload, and I don't do it 3 times a day, or so I once I got something, okay. Maybe in the future I start posting more frequently. I think that would be good, both for you people watching and for me also, to get through topics a bit more as they happen. Sometimes I'm feeling okay, I got to jump the gun, and sometimes I'm happy I don't record my thoughts and opinions, but many times I'm okay. Oh, many things cooking in my head. Great view, eh? You see if we come up here later in the summer when things have gotten green. We'll see how dry it gets. And if we get a rainy summer, great. Great. We don't want it too rainy, of course, but I believe this is going to be on the dry side. So just be aware of that, and remember, get a water filter, a high quality one. You don't want to be cheap on that. Yeah. Take care, man, and see you next time.